Hey everybody, welcome to our Becoming Professionally Famous Live Online episode. We are season 4, episode number 4, I think, which is really super awesome and exciting. So coming to you live from Sydney today. So as you are joining in, if you can let me know that you can hear me, that'd be really fantastic and awesome. So one of the big things that I think is, hey Casey, good morning. One of the things that I think is really important is that, we've all got these massive to-do lists, right? And I think it's really critical that we are able to work out a way of being able to get, hey, Tamara, thank goodness. And I'll try not to make it I'll try and keep the microphone up as much as I can so it's not too muffly. So the big thing is that we've all got these massive to-do lists, right? We've got things that we need to do, we've got delivery, we've got marketing, we've got children, we've got families, we've got friends, we've got animals, we've got like all of the responsibilities and everything that we need to do. And it can become, I don't know about you, I think it can become really quite overwhelming when there's so many things at play and everything is just as important as each other in order to get done and when things need to get done. So I started in 2011 a way of planning out and kind of reverse engineering not only my week and my day, but also my month, my quarters, and my 6 month and my year. So I'm going to step you through a way of you being able to do this. I'll have a template available for you. At the end of this, you'll just have to leave your name and email address down below, and I will send it through for you. So you've actually got a template to work through on this. So the first thing that I always do, and this might feel a little bit counterintuitive for some of you, but I want you to think about if you were to fast forward to 12 months in the future from right now, what would your life be looking like? What do you want to have achieved? What goals do you want to have hit? How much money do you want to make? How many clients do you want to have achieved? So what that gives us is a bit of a good set point of going, okay, that's what I want. That's great. We get really, really super clear on that. And that's usually the thing that most people don't do. They're kind of like, oh yeah, I want to make $100,000, or yeah, I want to add $250,000 or whatever, and they're not looking at it as it's kind of like a reverse engineer process. So work out what you want it to look like 12 months into the future. And then what I want you to look at is like, okay, so over this, once you've got all of those goals, it's about making sure your website's up and running. Is it about blogging regularly? Is it about being invited to speaking engagements? What is it that you are actually doing 12 months in the future? Then what I want you to think about is, okay, so let's assume that this next quarter, this quarter that we're in right now, this group of 3 months, is the first little stepping stone to you getting onto that podium, if you like, for the end of that 12-month period. So what do you need to do this quarter? And it's reasonably big picture at this point. What do you need to do this quarter that's going to help you get towards that goal at the end of the year? So is it about getting a blog up, getting a website up? Is it about going and registering for your podcast? Is it about, I don't know, whatever it is? What do you need to do this quarter that's going to step you in and get you moving towards achieving that end of 12-month goal? So usually, let me grab mine out. This is one that I prepared earlier for you. Did I bring it? Oh no, I only brought my weekly. So usually in my quarter, I've got a financial goal. I've usually got a lifestyle goal. I've usually got a health goal, and the business. And the business goal. So I usually take a look at what is it that I want to achieve. It's not just about the money. There are other things in there that I really want to hit, other key goals, other key indicators that I really want to hit. So once you've got that mapped out, you guys with me? Let me know that you're with me. So once I've got that mapped out, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Once you've got that mapped out for the next quarter, what you're then going to do is go, okay, so I've got 3 months. You've got 3 months to achieve those things. That's great. That's so much time. So what needs to happen in the first 30 days? Right, so you've got to make it, again, a little bit smaller. What needs to happen in the first 30 days, knowing that there'll be some things that you will do each month for the 3 months, and there might be some stuff that you just do just in month 1, and that kind of sets the foundations. So in month 1, what do you need to do? Now, if you're doing a podcast, some of these smaller things are maybe launching the podcast, decide on the content, giving the podcast a name, mapping out the first 20 episodes. It might be approaching different people to interview, whatever it is. So break it down a little bit more, in a bit more detail, into that monthly goal that you'll create, that monthly task list rather. From there, you can see the way that we do this, right? So we start with your big goal for the 12 months, and then we break it down into what do we need to do in this next 3 months, then what do I need to do this month, and then we're going to break that down into week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Now this is beautiful because we're going into August. So what do you need to do in the first week of August that's going to help you hit that 1 month actions? What are you going to do in week 2? What are you going to do in week 3? And what are you going to do in week 4? Now, as I said, there might be some things that you're actually going to do every week, and that's okay. You're going to build it into a document. So I actually build it out like this. So this is my weekly one, but I've got week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 on the other page that I didn't bring with me today. So you've got all of the tasks that you need to do are all kind of like divvied up. What I then do, and yes, we're getting super detailed, so bear with me, then you're going to make it, so all right, you look at that thing that you need to do in week 1, and it might be run a webinar, it might be draft a book, it might be launch your podcast. So what do you have to do on Mondays? It's something that you can do on Monday to make that happen, Monday of week 1. And then you'll go and put that into the column. So you start building your to-do list this way versus having all of the things in there. You allocate the day that you're going to action that item on. Does that make sense, everyone? I hope that's making sense. Because I guess that the reason that we do it this way, the reason that I do it this way, and this has been something that has served me year in, year out. This is the stuff that's helped me, get to $1 million a year. It's helped me with climbing my way back up to $1 million a year at the moment. And it just keeps me intensely focused on doing what it is specifically that I need to do rather than being distracted by the shiny thing. The other thing that I'll do as stuff comes up is I'll handwrite things in there as well. Now, hands up, can I get a hell yeah for all of those who are overachievers in the audience? Overachiever, right here. So what happens is that when we are overachievers and we've got our lists and we're not ticking things off, we can feel like we're not good enough. We can feel like, this isn't working, there's not enough time in the day, yada, yada, yada. So what I love about this is that it gives us a very set list of action tasks that we can cross off. So we cross them off. And then what I actually do is I will go into, like on Wednesday, for example, or today, there might have been something that I did today. There's nothing that I've done today because I ran a think tank and I've been coaching and now I'm with you guys. So let's say that there's something that's not on my list today that I've done. I will write it on the list anyway and then cross it off, right? Because I like to get to the end of the day and be like, wow, we know that we do so much on a daily basis, right? That we forget to actually account for it much of the time. We're just kind of like busy going do, rather than acknowledging the work that we've done. And I know for me and for my clients, it can get to the end of the day and it's like, I know I did a lot, but I actually don't really know what I did. And, that's really weird. So this helps you keep track of the actual activity that you're doing, which is really great, really important work. But it also keeps you really laser focused. So if you're a person that gets distracted by shiny things, then what you can do when you've got this document, and like I said, you'll leave your emails below and I'll shoot it through for you. What you do, if you find a shiny thing or a really great idea, but you look at your planner and you're like, there is no way that I can do this week. There is no way. You just put it on the planner for next week. So you'll add it in and make sure that it's in there ready to go. And then at the end of every week, when you're setting up your week that's coming up. So on Friday, you'll do your plan, your action plan for next week. There'll be things that you're like, oh yeah, I've got to make sure that I put that thing in there, and then you'll go and put it in. Okay. That's the planning. And I've worked with some really incredibly successful people who have implemented this process. And one of them specifically said, I used to get so anxious about not hitting my to-do list, about not getting it all done. And she said this actually made her feel like she was achieving at the end of the day, rather than feeling like, things were just blowing ridiculously out of proportion and it was just unachievable. So it works. Please, please, please go ahead and use it. There was a time for about 6 months where I wasn't using this, and I wasn't hitting my goals. I wasn't achieving my targets. I wasn't achieving my creative goals even, like not just financial targets, and I couldn't work out why. And then something happened, came across my awareness, and I was like, oh man, I haven't been using the planner. Of course it's not working. So this is something that really does help you. I promise. So that's me for today. Do you have any questions that I can answer for you? Has this been helpful for you? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to carry on and do my little thing. So, if you would like a copy of the template that I use for this, it is not pretty, okay, but it is certainly functional. So let me know. You can either message me if you don't want to put your email address underneath here. Message me and let me know your email and I'll shoot it through. It's not an opt-in or anything. I'll just send it right across and get that to you. Just make sure if you're sending me a message that I know what it's about. Just say, please send me the planner, Nicola, and I'll flick that through for you. All right, I've got some cool stuff coming up about Spy School that I'll share with you guys over the next few days and next week. It's happening. It's only 8 weeks away, which is really exciting, where people are learning how to leverage social media, how to make money from it. Not just about building presence and positioning online, but how to actually use it to be able to generate a return. So I'm going to be sharing more about that over the next week, which is going to be a ton of fun. Other than that, have an amazing and rockin' day. Tomorrow, it's funny because I know what to do, so helpful to revisit and get this clear. Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. It's my absolute pleasure. We can kind of slip into the land of complacency. Well, I know I have at different times, and it's really important to have this stuff in place and in play regularly. I actually also have this sitting on my desk at home, and it travels with me obviously. On my desk at home, it always sits at my right hand, so that I've got it right there. I know what I need to do. I know what I've got on. So if I'm getting distracted by stuff, it's like bang, I know what needs to happen, and it just makes my life so much easier. So that's it from me today. Have a beautiful and amazing Tuesday. I am heading back to the airport so that I can head home and go do what I do back there. So have an amazing day. Next week, I haven't got my show schedule in front of me, but we will be going live next Tuesday at 11. Apologies for the lateness of today. We've got Becoming Professionally Famous online every morning. The coffee run every morning for the rest of this week. We've got Q&A Wednesday tomorrow. So if you've got any questions about sales, marketing, online marketing, positioning, social media, anything like that, make sure you let me know. I'd love to answer them for you. All right, everybody, have a really beautiful day, and I'll talk with you all soon. Bye.